out of the country to seek refuge in then called Agege, but obviously Nigeria, that's what we mean. And listening to his experiences of life there is what helped shape my life a bit in the field or the discipline of sports journalism. Simply put, this man had so much knowledge. It was untrue. And you know how Nigerians feel and believe, no disrespect to them, that they are the best Africa has. But here was a chap who had gone there, and suddenly this Ghanaian, in quotation marks, uh, um, this Ghanaian gentleman was suddenly now teaching a country of then about 100 million exactly what sports commentary was all about, how it should be done, and in particular, the way it should be run. And he was immediately taken up, according to him, by his people, by these Nigerians. And suddenly, the things he was doing in Ghana, he was doing in Nigeria, but doing it at a higher level. I'm sure he's probably told you about it. But simply put, mine had more to do with life and its realities
Joy
than only the sporting
99.7
aspect.
FM.
Indeed, and your talk about life and its experiences just reminds me of the sermons on discipline. Where, I mean, he for instance told me about how he would go into Kumasi, for instance, if the Babara Stadium, as we now know it, was hosting the big game between Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko. He would go in almost a week to the game and try to pick up information from different places, from the bars to the offices through to the training ground and all of that. And he told me about how, because of his popularity at the time, people, would come to him and show appreciation by buying crates of beer for him to consume with just a few friends of his. And of course, at the time, if he didn't have the discipline, then all the time he would be indulging because, there were people who were ready to buy him alcohol.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is, with him, professionalism was something you never compromised with. And I remember when we came back from the United Kingdom, the first words I heard when a friend of mine started getting me into Ghana sports was those immortal words that you used, over to you. Incidentally, the over to you, it really wasn't Joe who started it. It's because at the time, Joe was sitting at the stadium waiting for the go-ahead. So the likes of the late Joe Kofi, the likes of the George Crabb, the likes of the late James Amate, and others would just simply get up. I think it was Joe Kofi who started it. Get up and say, well, we're going over to the Accra Sports Stadium where our commentator is Joe Latte. So if you can hear me, Joe, over to you. That was something that he grasped as his mentor. And I'm convinced that if this generation or his generation had got people who would be interested in writing his biography, or if Joe had written his autobiography, I have no doubt that the words would have been over to you, then maybe underneath it, Joe Latte. But see, like you said, here was a gentleman whose knowledge, I'm sorry to say this, but research capabilities doesn't seem to be replicated in the current generation of journalists. I listen to a wide array of programs, particularly radio, and you know straight away that when somebody's speaking, he hasn't done, for me, the most important thing, adequate research. When somebody's doing commentary, they haven't done adequate research. Because all they do is keep on repeating so many things that at the beginning they started with and getting to the end, they are still saying the same things. So it becomes a bit repetitive. Now, for me, if you are going to be the Joe Latte of this generation, then you've got to get that research absolutely spot on. When you go out to do commentary, you're not only supposed to research on, let's say, the two combatants, whether boxers, whether athletes, whether tennis, whether footballers, but you're also supposed to do research on, one, the venue, two, research on how many times, so many things. And yet I don't see it. But that was something that when you listen to Joe Latte's style and type of commentary, you would see it consistently. And that's how he got people like us to start loving the sports. And it wasn't only him. He continued, he did it so well that the likes of the late Harry Thompson, who took after him as the main sports commentator with GBC, they sent commentary to another level. Ken Amor obviously was Joe Latte's colleague, and Ken was another. And so you could see that at that time, admittedly, it was only GBC. But there were standards that had to be met. And if you didn't meet those standards, then you'll be taken off. And that's the reason why Joe Latte was what he was. He met an institution that is so, so good. And if you go to GBC right now, I think the radio training school is the one that many people have been, or many news stations have been going there for learning processes. And Joe Latte's diction, pronunciation of words, absolutely first class. And once again, I'll say that the likes of the late Eric Berko, the late Ken Amor, the late Harry Thompson, that was another. And I was privileged enough that when I came onto the scene, I studied under the likes of Ken, Harry, Eric Berko. But those guys also would always be referring to Joe Latte. Do you know him? Do you remember? There was another chap, I can't remember his name, it's all Harry. But it was something that Joe had. And for me, there's no doubt that it was one of the greatest privileges when I met him for the first time. Phenomenal. And his son, unfortunately, who is no longer in Ghana. When I say no longer in Ghana, he's emigrated. But it didn't surprise me that his son, George, also went into sports journalism.
Well, what can we say? We thank God for his life. Thank you so much, Kaltafor. And we sure are going to have some more conversations around this great man and what he has left for us and the standards he's established in the space. Thank you so much.
It's a privilege. Thank you very much.
It was one Britain. He was headmaster of government school in Cape Coast. He started the thing and he recruited a few local boys and they were practicing under moonlight and so on. And bit by bit, it developed until Accra Hearts of Oak came in. Then there was Stanfast. Stanfast died. For a very long time, we had Hearts of Oak and Stanfast. But Stanfast is gone. Stanfast is now Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it went on like that. We had problems with coaching. So when Ohinijam became the sports director, as I told you, Kwame Nkrumah was interested in sport. And he knew Ohinijam was interested in sport and was doing it. He and He was around Richard Akwe and so,
Oh, okay.
in Sawam. He was doing football from Sawam. And he was there. So when Richard Akwe gave way, there was this one. Then we had problems with coaching. So director of sports.
So Richard Akwe gave way to Ohenijam.
Let me say, Richard Akwe's period passed off.
Sweet hour of prayer.
Of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, a recipient of various national honors, a seasoned and celebrated commentator not only with sport but with ceremonies, national ceremonies, a teacher and a statesman. Joe Latte passing on at the age of 96, a great tower of knowledge and a man who sure has left all of us with a lot to think about and to apply to our lives. Once again, you're all very welcome to the Joy Sports Link. Send us some messages for those of you who were able to see a bit or two during his active career. Those of you who met him in his advanced years. Send a message, would you? Please go ahead. It's 055-111-11997. 055-111-11997 here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. And of this, I'm telling you that you can, with just 10 Ghana cedis, get some free concert tickets, shopping vouchers worth up to 500 Ghana cedis, and all to shop at Melcom or get some juicy buckets of chicken from KFC every week. Here's what to do. So stick 10 Ghana cedis or more in the Game Park Game Pick 1 or Pick 4 lottery to be entered into a weekly Saturday raffle for a chance to win in the Moolah promo. Regardless of the outcome of your stake, you can still win a voucher for yourself. Remember, though, that vouchers are limited. So play more to increase your chances. And remember to watch the Saturday promo draw on Adrum TV at 6 p.m. Just dial star 946 hash. Star 946 hash or just visit www.gameparkgames.com to play now. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This afternoon, as I mentioned, we're getting close to some two achieved footballers of our time. I'll begin with the one who's seated right across. One of the biggest achievements and accolades to date is winning the 2009 edition of the Under-20 FIFA World Cup, and that was Ghana's first and Africa's first. This accolade will go down in history. This cannot be erased, and this will stay for generations to come. Away from that, he moved on to the Black Stars and also served as much as he could, featuring at the Africa Cup of Nations and featuring at the FIFA World Cup as well. A couple of years down the line, after deciding to hang his boots, he has ventured into the area of football agency. Now, the question we're asking ourselves is, everybody keeps talking about the football agency business. How good is it? What are the prospects, especially if you're operating from here in Ghana? And how do you go about all of this? Well, we are going to be learning a thing or two from Samuel Inkum. Samuel Inkum is the man who established the agency with his name on it. And of course, once you hear the name Samuel Inkum, you do know his exploits. Of course, having played his football in Europe, featured in the UEFA Champions League, and of course, winning all those key accolades. Of course, one of those that he still would have wanted to win was the Africa Cup of Nations with the Black Stars. But of course, there are a new generation who will be tasked with that responsibility. He has done his bit, and now he's looking at a new way of of getting all these many talents that are scattered across the country to get to do different things and explore the various opportunities that are available in football. Later on this afternoon, we'll also be joined by the legendary John Paintsell. Now, John Paintsell is a man who belongs to a generation of footballers who applied their trade in different parts of the world and also were part of the very first squad for Ghana at the FIFA World Cup. He's also played at the Africa Cup of Nations, won the second or third highest number of caps for the Black Stars, and also is now a coach, has been named recently as assistant coach of the Black Stars. Now, he also runs an academy. So what are, all of the requirements and how do we run a successful academy? How do we marry it into the system of football agencies, and how do these benefit the young ones who are aspiring to go into this space? Now, you speak to a parent or two in recent years and you realize that the phenomenon where parents were deterring their children from playing sport has long been eroded because they see what is being produced out there in the West and the kinds of massive economies that are being generated from, sports like football, basketball, boxing, and all of them, cricket and the like. And they're realizing that sport is the new platinum mine, and everybody must participate, especially if you have the talents. So you join us with your messages and all the questions as well, while we continue to celebrate the memory of the legendary Joe Latte. It just is also a matter of coincidence that today the boxing and sporting fraternity are paying the final respects to the legendary Mr. J.A. Annan. Mr. J.A. Annan was a stalwart in the boxing space and has played various roles as a boxing referee, as a judge, and as a trainer of trainers. Now, he is also a boxing historian and has played a role as commissioner and lead official at many of the biggest, fight nights in history. And all of these span many decades. Mr. J.A. Annan is being buried today and would like to say our condolences to the family and would also like to celebrate his memory as well. So today is a day of celebration of the great people who have done their bit and set the standards for us in our country. And we're also looking forward into the future with this conversation. Welcome to the Joy Sports Link here on Joy 99.7 FM. Samuel, good to see you here, and I can see a lot of things are happening.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, we are managing, my brother.
I'm very sure that when you were growing up, you all heard the accolade. Over to you, Joe Latte, and probably came across a bit of his commentary or something. What do you also have to say regarding Joe Latte and his life and his work and what he has done for Mother Ghana?
I think I might say that may his soul rest in perfect peace. I know he has done a lot, in terms of we were young when we were listening to his interviews, commentaries and stuff. He has done a lot. So I think wherever he is now.
In the 70s, we were not around.
So yeah, I was not born yet.
Yeah.
So may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you can send in your messages as well. Remember, it's 055 1111 997. 055 1111 997 for all of your WhatsApp messages. We'll be glad to have all of them, and we'll be glad to share with everyone else. Somehow, in recent years, I mean, over the last year and a half, you've been up to a lot. You launched the Samuel Inkum Agency at the Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel. I was your master of ceremonies together with, Frima, and Frima Edunyami, and we've been having loads of conversations about what this is going to do to add to the football ecosystem here in Ghana. Let's talk about it now. After the launch, what have you been up to?
Yeah, after the launch, I think you were there. Frima was there to witness it. A lot of dignitaries was there as well. We didn't do it just for fun. We know that Ghana, we have bunch of talent, but we have to give them the right direction for them to achieve their aim. So that is why Sinkum Football Management Agency, in the launching, we promised that we'll go to all the 16 regions to scout the players who has the potentials for us to develop them. So that is where we started going to all the 16 regions, picking a lot of good ones, trying to change their mindset, how they think even towards the game. So we just had a showcase of African nation coming on, and we just finished it. Now I'm talking to you, have about 40 players that they has it. You understand? They has it. So now it's our turn for us to develop them, and for them to understand that the job that they are doing is just not playing football, but there are certain things that you have to know before you join the football fraternity. Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about you, and so that we place this in context. Let's talk about you and how you got your break. You know, there are quite a number of people who may have listened to this story. There are also millions of people around the world who haven't listened to this. So I'm trying to place that against what is happening now and what platforms like yours are doing to add to the many platforms that we have that can give opportunities to young ones. Tell us about your story and your break at the time.
My story is it's not easy though. You know, if you want to be a footballer, there's a lot of sacrifices that you have to understand that you do. You know, I think I started from secondary Takrade, and we keep on saying that the best come from the West. And I started like inter schools. I was playing in the street, and a man saw me, and he just came to me just like that and told me that, listen, I think you can be a big star. Even me myself, I was not understanding what the man was telling me, but I think it's happened when the man used to come to my house every time, pushing me that I've seen something in you, maybe you don't know, or something like that. So I also, and my father was headmaster. He doesn't want me to even play football. He just want me to focus on my education. And at a point in time, the man came again, and he said he want to speak to my mother and my father, you know, my parents. So I gave him the chance. He came, he started talking to my father and my mother. My father was not understand where the man was coming from. He said, no, I want my son to go to school. I want him to focus in education. So very lucky, we went and played inter schools, and I was the one that I was one of the players that they selected to represent Western region. So after the tournament, then when we were playing the tournament, a lot of coaches came there. Afrani was there, may he so rest in perfect peace. Osam Dodu was there, Samadi was there, Utia Kantan was there, 99 Stars was there, Akwetama was there. There was a lot of big coaches that Ghana would cherish so much was in that that tournament, you know, that inter-school tournament. So I was selected. They brought us to Winneba, and that is where I was feeling like, okay, I will focus on football. You know, so I would just say that my breakthrough came on inter-schools. When I went to inter-schools, I had a chance to meet Coach Adi, may he so rest in perfect peace, Utia Kanta, Yike Afrani, if I'm not, Afrani, Coach Afrani,
Yes.
and Osam Dodu and Co. You know, they were there, so I had a chance to meet all of them. They also gave me a good advices, you know, for me to be Samuel Lincoln today. So my breakthrough started from inter-schools.
So it's amazing and interesting that, you know, back in the time, your father would not, and many parents back in the time used to do that as well, that where they didn't want to see their children go anywhere near a football pitch and try to suggest that they wanted to play football for a profession. And now it's different.
Yeah, now it's different, totally different. Now every parent wishes son play football, you know, because football now have grown to something that it brings people together, and also the business aspect is huge also, because every investors now they are investing in football now, you know. So I think it's a game that now everybody love to be part of it.
Okay, now tell me about the kind of response you got when you threw it out that you were going to have the scouting exercise. Scouting exercises have been happening from time to time, you know, on the football calendar. And sometimes without even advertising much, you get so many numbers. Tell me about your particular situation and what you also realize about the eagerness with which the new generation of young people want to play football.
I think the youth now want to play football. Those who love the football, they want to play. But we are doing something different, that we just want them to know the reason why they are playing football. Because a lot of young kids nowadays, they just want to play football. If you say that there's a justify, everybody will come. But after justify, what next? So we are trying to we are building our own academy, and we are trying to put them there, let them know the kind of job that they are doing. Football is not the way me and you watch on TV. There's a lot of things that we can do to develop their career. I think from today when we are watching Kudus, Mohammed, Isaku, and we are all happy. They all came from what we are doing now. So I think that if we keep our eye on them, give them the right direction, I think it's going to benefit Ghana in terms of football.
All right. Now, you've spoken about the eagerness with which these young ones want to play football. And clearly it is also because of what markets like Europe have packaged and have put in the media space. Now, the scene here and how much work is supposed to be done between now and the immediate future, in terms of packaging our football and making it look attractive. Does that in any way also affect how these young kids think and would want to be a part of or would want to pursue careers in football?
Yeah, I think yes, because these young kids nowadays, they want to play football to the highest level. And if you are doing, let's say, an agency or an academy, you have to let them know, okay, after they come to the academy, what are they going to benefit? We are lucky. We just signed last week. We just signed a partnership deal with one investor from Norway, which we are doing this with him. He also came to Ghana as well. He saw the potentials. He was so excited. You understand? So the kids want to play, but how can we help them to play? That is what we are trying to do now. As for the kids, they can come 1,000 times. If you are doing Justify, they will come. But they have to also know that, okay, after we are coming, what are you going to do for us? So that is why we are doing this, to help them. And if I'm not talking, my head of scout is here, Nana Kwame. He came from London, and he's part of us as well. He's also having a Scout Connect as well. So I contact him and said, listen, let's do something to help our motherland. So at the end of the day, this is what we are trying to do to help, because Ghana, we keep on saying we have a bunch of talent. We have talent, but we have to develop them. That is the major issue. I think some of the academies are doing very well as well. So this is something that we have to use it, because I keep on saying that Ghana have given me enough privilege to be Samuel Inkum today. So what am I going to do? Which impact I'm bringing on board to develop this young kid? So I'm trying to give back to community in Ghana as well.
All right. So in a bit, we'll also be taking a listen to Nana Kwame. I mean, he'll tell us, what he's seen so far here. Nana, good to have you here on the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's a privilege.
Great stuff. Now, you've been part of this project for some time, and I mean, you are in a terrain where, I mean, ratings are so high in terms of the football product that has been created, which is, I mean, the highest of them all, which is the English Premier League. And I can imagine children over there, probably even if they're in their mother's wombs, they're thinking of playing in the English Premier League. So you put it against our market and the kind of raw talents that we have here, and what we also need to do in terms of the support structure to get these fully developed. What did you notice, when you came down and saw these young ones?
Obviously, first of all, everyone watched the Premier League and they see the glitz and glamour, and everyone wants to be part of it. Yeah, but obviously, like in football, you have to understand, like the basics of it, basically, in terms of how it works. And obviously, I mean, SC Nkum agency is to unearth talent and is to manage and also educate them of how the whole process works, basically, in that sense. So yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm really excited to be here, to be working with him. I mean, come on, I mean, Black Star legend. I mean, come on, end of the day, it's a privilege for me to be around him. So I'm learning from him as well. But as I said, end of the day, we have so much to do, to basically educate like the talent that we have here, groom them, manage them, and basically put them in the right structure for them to succeed in life.
Well, now when these players are selected, okay, I mean you say that you want to focus on the next stage. So what then happens? I'm sure that many people would want to understand that structure well. You know, what happens? I mean, you are looking at probably integrating them into different places, maybe into the academies or for other opportunities out there. How does it run?
I think after this even showcase of African nation, two players are lucky now to go to overseas. And from next week, that is what me and my team will work towards it, for them to, you know, the talent that they have to also go to somewhere that they can also get much facilities there, that they can also bring their talent like the way we are looking for. I think that in my opinion it will be a dream that the players I'm scouting will be in top clubs in Europe. That is what where I'm focusing. And to do that is not easy, but I have a strong team that they are behind me, doing a lot of things that is even amazing. And today, the players that we selected from the tournament, everyone is reporting in Gomoafete, where we want to do our academy, to also let them understand this is our game plan, this is what we want you to do. You know, there's certain things we want them to do. Without discipline, you cannot go where you're supposed to go, you know. So this is some of the things that we just want them to know before we even open the academy.
Let's talk about infrastructure. Infrastructure is a very key element of, within the football ecosystem that you need to get right. I mean, when you go across the country, the issue of pitches is a very great, is a big problem.
Yeah.
We've had some, social entrepreneurs and institutions, private individuals invest, for instance, in some astroturfs. We know of what Mr. Robert Coleman is doing as somebody who's promoting the idea of having as many of these as possible in different parts of the country. Tell me your story from growing up in Takoradi, the quality of the pitches you played on, and what you see now, and how much improvement you've seen and how much work you still think we have.
I think where I grew up, we all know pitches were not the way we were happy with. You understand that? But we always have to stand somewhere. Face a lot of difficulties before you can even get maybe proper pitch. And from now, what I'm seeing, I think there's a lot of astroturfs, coming, and that is good. The kids can also go there, because in Europe somewhere you have to also train with the synthetic as well. So when they are training now, when they go there, they will be used to even make things easier for them. I think we have to get as much as we can, and also the normal grasses as well, because going to Europe there, I think some of the clubs, all of them have, let's say, if I'm not wrong, about 13 pitches,
13?
Those who understand the game, the clubs that they understand what they are doing. If you go to Madrid, for instance, huge. If you go to Man City, Chelsea, they have it because they know what football is doing for them. So I think that this is the time that we have to. I know in our industry, I will not say bad. Things are getting better, and there's a lot we have to do to get a lot of facilities. I was so happy when I saw Pram. They put this floodlight and everything. This is something that we want to see. It brings joy in the game. The players can play very well. Sometimes we thought that the players doesn't know how to play. I don't bear with that, but sometimes the pitch is also another factor. So I think when we pay too much attention with our pitches, I think Ghana will be happy, because we want to be happy when we were watching, the likes of Stephen Appiah, Mohamed Polo, and this. This is what we want to see now, Asamoah Gyan and co. This is what we want to see now. We want to see good pitches. We want to see our league is more competitive. Like now, I'm so happy now to the extent that the Samatex, Nations FC, they are in the top of the table now. So it tells you that I'm not happy though, because I was expecting Kotoko, maybe Hasselfolk to be in that position. So that's what I'm saying. Now the league, there's a lot of competitive inside, competition inside, and that is very good for us to.
You mentioned playing in the Ghana Premier League after so many years out there in Europe and playing at the highest level, playing in the UEFA Champions League. What is it that you also notice with our clubs? I mean, you've spoken about Samatex and how they are leading the league table now. I mean, they are a very young club, and in terms of pedigree, nobody expects them to have any pedigree. But now they're ruling and are on their way to possibly annexing the first Ghana Premier League title in their history. What have you also noticed about the clubs, the way we're running our clubs and all?
I think I will put it this way, in terms of branding. I was expecting that when I came to, let me put it there, when I came to Ghana League, I saw that the league is okay, and I noticed that, but there was not too many people at the stadium. So I even had an interview. I said that it's up to us for us to bring a lot of I even say something that those who are playing in Europe, if you see that you are facing a lot of difficulties, you can come over, start again and go, because Brazilians are doing it. But also when they come, how the response is another problem that they are facing as well. So I think that moving forward, the best thing we have to do, the teams have to brand themselves very well in terms of bringing a lot of, the sponsors in the game. Because no sponsor will come and sponsor you without getting no returns, So how we will brand ourselves as a team, and also the pitches that we are training on. And this is some of the things that we have to do to also attract a lot of sponsorship to come in the game.
Let's talk about the brief experience returning home. You came, you did a bit for Accra Hartsville before finally saying goodbye to your playing career. Hartsville have gone past a century. They are also building a lot of infrastructure. Yeah. Tell me what you noticed there and what the prospects are looking like from where you sit and from your point of view.
I think before I will talk about House of Folk, I would like to say a big thank you to His Royal Highness Tobo Afede the 14th. He has passion for the game. And the first time I went to Pobiman and I saw what he's trying to do, I was so in love with him in terms of how he want to put proper infrastructure in place. And he has also made the job easier for the playing body as well, because before, when I came, we were training in Aquinas. Sometimes the pitch is hard and this kind of things, but now that they have their own facilities, I think he's trying to put a joy in the players' faces and also the fans of Accra House of Folk. So I think he's doing something amazing. He's doing something that we have to support him, because we have a lot of rich guys in Ghana, but everybody want to also make sure that where he's coming to put his money, if he will get returns. But whether he like it or not, he's putting the money, he's pushing, he want to make Accra House of Folk that everybody will watch it from different angle, that they will be happy. So I think he's doing something that amazing, my brother.
If you just joined us, we're here with former Black Stars player Samuel Inkum. Now, Samuel Inkum started off his agency and is taking us into his new world. What a former footballer can get up to, when it comes to the options available. Now, you do realize that every time you have conversations with people, the first area of practice post the football career that many people like to talk about is coaching. Yeah. Let's talk about you, for instance. Did coaching ever beckon you? Did you ever have the feel to get into coaching? Did anybody advise you or push for you to become a coach?
I love the game though. Before, the mindset was being a coach, but I also thought about it as there's a lot of things in football that we can also do to help these young players. So that is why I went to this direction, management aspect, to make sure that these kids would be proper developed. Because I use myself as an example when I was banned from FIFA, based on contract issues. So I use that to, okay, let me open an agency, player management, to also start talking to them about whatever I was experiencing in my career, to try to, advise this young kid to be more than me, So that is why I went to this aspect. But I love the game. I say enjoying, try to make this young kid play maybe and 1-2. I love to be in the game, but I prefer going to player management than being a coach.
But than being a coach.
Yeah.
Okay. So then coaching is not the only thing you can do when you're done with your career.
Yes.
That is without a doubt.
Yes, because legend nowadays, I also want to let them know that it's not only coaching. There's a lot of things that they can do in football fraternity. There's a lot. They can be sporting directors. You can be sports agent, scout. This is some of the things that they can also do to help. It's not necessary you have to be a coach. I know so many coaches, or I know so many players that they have been. When you talk about footballers, on top. But when they come to the coaching aspect, I think they are not. They cannot give what, like when they were playing. So I think that they also have to check on that side as well. It's not necessary they have to be a coach. That is where I want to also end this.
Is running an agency a lucrative venture? There are obviously many people who will be interested in that, because at the end of the day, once hard work has been done, it has to also reflect in your in the space and in the accounts.
Of course, everybody work to be paid, but to be honest, that is not the motive though. I just want to bring joy to this young kid, this innocent kid, that they have potential. They need help, and they struggle to get the help. I remember I went to Asim Fosu doing my scouting tour. I saw 2 players. They came to me. They know how to play, but there's no help, So I decided, okay, listen, let me pick them, bring them to Accra, try change the mindset, let them know that they can achieve their dream, So yeah, everybody work to be paid, but if you are doing a good work, the man will come by himself, So I prefer that, making sure that the players are okay. Let me give Kunedu Yadum example. I was the one instrumental in Kunedu's deal, going up and down, making sure everything, contract, everything is okay. Now he's in Ukraine now, He started playing last 2 days or 3 days, if I'm not wrong. When I saw him, I was so happy. That is what I want to see. And I think the team is first position in Ukraine, and next season he can play Champions League. So this is kind of things that I want to see to help this young talent.
Samuel, how simple is it for people with non-football backgrounds to get into this space? You obviously have your relationships, which you've grown over the course of time, locally and internationally. And based on that, if you pick your phone and make a phone call, it's easier for people to look in your direction. And obviously, it's a matter of a lot of networking and all of that. How easy is it for somebody who doesn't necessarily have any background in football to get in there? Maybe somebody has, a business degree, wants to get into that space based on interest. I realize Nana Kwame also wants to chip in. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that first and foremost is this. Yeah, it's like with anything, you have to have a CV basically, and also like in terms of the value that you can bring on board. Yeah, so like making sure that having the right CV in terms of your passion like for the game, and the best thing to do is, is to send your CVs to all the sports agents, and obviously, with what you can do for them, in that sense, and then also, go in there and work for free and learn the game from them, and then from there you can acquire the right skills, and then you can start your own, basically. So that's what I would, say to people who haven't got that contact yet, is to have a good CV, contact all the agencies, and go and give your service for free and learn, and from there you can build up your own. Yeah, thank you.
Go and work for free for starters, and build the CV, prove yourself, and the whole system will admit you in there. Now, Inkum, also tell me how simple or easy it has been transitioning from your active playing career into this space where now you have to be doing a lot more administrative stuff. How simple or smooth has it been? How difficult has it been, if that is the case as well?
It's been tough, my brother, to be very good honest. It's been tough.
What's the reason?
To even for people to understand your vision, it's not easy. You have to also tell them where you want to go, for them to be convinced before they can also be part of you.
Or come on board.
On board. And like recently, when we signed a deal with our Norway partnership, we started talking to him that Ghana, we have the talent, we have that, we have to. His first time being in Africa, we have to convince him, we have to let them know that we have it before he can come. So that is the toughest part of it. And I think that when they also come, they want to also see whatever you are telling them, if it's true or not. And I was so happy to the extent that when our partner came, he was so impressed. Normally, the Showcase of African Nation, we wanted to do it 2 weeks. He came the first day, he saw the talent, he said, "Oh, I'm impressed." So instead of 2 weeks, we just did it 2 days. So it will also let you. It's how you also tell the people, how to convince them, how for them to come on board to see also, okay, let's say Esinkun Football Management, or I want to invest in Esinkun Football Management Agency. I saw certain things that I know that, okay, the vision is great. So this is how we are also trying for them to also bring a lot of, partners, a lot of sponsors, because we need it. We need sponsors on board. The corporate body I'm talking about, they can come also. And those who want to, like you said, those who want to also come into football, I have my social platform is there. You can send me a message and we can talk to you how we can do it.
Let's also talk about this aspect of the conversation. In recent years, we've been doing some research on the numbers and how many footballers are exported out of our system. At the last count, I saw numbers around like 100, 120 towards 150 in a football season. That's quite a huge number. By what you are by your participation in the space, are these numbers increasing, and what is it about Ghanaian footballers that makes them sought after in different football markets around the world? Is there something like a specific quality that Ghanaian footballers have as against footballers from other parts of the continent?
I think big yes. We Ghanaian footballers, we have the power, we have the energy, and we have the skill. And I think the reason why a lot of scouts, a lot of clubs are focusing on Ghana is that some of the senior players that they started, they have also paid the way as well. Because, for instance, English League, for instance, Michael Eason was there, Asamoah was there, John Painter was there,
Richard
Kingston was there, Boateng was there, Kevin was there.
Of course, earlier in the earlier generation, Nyako,
Tony Eboa,
Nyako was there. So, Odati Lamte.
So they have paid the way to the standard. Okay, before this one was here, okay, let's follow. You understand? That is why they are focusing on Ghana. And look what Kudus and Fatau is doing now. So Ghana, we have we are blessed when it comes about football talent. We have it, but having the talent with no hard working, I don't think that the talent exists. So that is why we are trying to let them know that, listen, you have the talent, but if you don't work hard, you can never achieve your dream. So this is some of the things that we are trying to also bring it in for them to know that this is the kind of job they are doing, for them to understand also. If you are not disciplined, you have talent and you are not disciplined, how can you achieve your dream? It doesn't happen, So this is some of the things that normally Ghanaian players, when they tell them 4, they will come maybe 5 o'clock. It's part of discipline. There, when they tell you 1, if you are there 1-1, you have a big problem. Because there's a proper discipline. There's a proper infrastructure in the place that you can never go there and give excuses. You can never give excuses there. So that is some of the things that we are trying to also put in this young kid that, listen, if you want to be a professional, you're supposed to start from here. So that is why we are trying to give them all the environment, all the equipment that they need before they go out there.
I see. Now, you in your plan, you mentioned, establishing, a full academy.
Yeah.
That's part of your plan.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen quite a number of academies spring up. Some of them, not to the best of standard in terms of structure and in terms of the kind of quality of program that they offer there. The yardstick, of course, in Ghana is the Right to Dream Academy, which has given us one of the flagship brands in Kudus Mohammed.
Yeah.
Now, what will be your plan, going forward into the future, and what are your projections, and timelines based on which you will set structures and set a whole academy which will fully be running and will be known as the S. Inkum Football Academy?
Yeah, Inkum Academy, yeah.
Okay, tell me about it.
So I think what I want to say about our academy, I think we have already started. Things are in good place. And we are lucky also to have a partnership deal, which they understand our philosophy and where we are going. So they want to be part of us. I think I don't want to talk too much how the design, how the brand and this. I think next year, everybody will see it. Because I've been in the game for long, and I know what we can do to also bring this innocent kids to a certain standard, for European clubs to not going for trials. We have to sign deals in Ghana as well, So this is some of the things that we are doing with our partnerships, with my team. I think we will bring something that it will be amazing. Imagine, one of our partner here from UK, here, he's the head of scout, Nana Kwame. If he think that the vision is not there, he will not come here. So this is some of the things that we are bringing in to give these kids good platform for them to develop their careers.
There are loads and loads of parents who listen to us, at this time of the day on Saturdays. And I have loads of parents who come to me and say, look, my child, I realize that this child has, the potential. They want to go into football. When is the right age to get a talented child to start playing or to enroll in an academy, to start going through a program? When is the right time? I mean, in terms of the child's growth, when is the right time?
I think some of the players doesn't need, let's say, age to start.
Okay.
You can see some kids, they have passion, they want to play football. I remember my father told me once that when I was a baby, I used to play, that socks. Yeah. I would use socks to make a ball. Yeah. And some of them have the passion.
If you're listening and you haven't played socks ball before, then I know the generation you belong to. You have a lot to learn from all of us. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. And you also have to tell us at which point your father decided to accept the fact that now you are going to play football. You need to tell us that story as well.
So I think I think that from where I'm sitting, that I think the age of 9, that is my opinion, because when you are 9 years old, you have more energy. You run a lot. You don't get tired. So I think that when you are 9 years old, you have to, in our academy and with my team, this is what we are coming to do as well. We start from 9 years old to 21s. So this is what we want to do to help them, because sometimes kids want to also know that, and parents also want to know that my son, is he ready? He has the potential. Is he going to play football? This is some of the things that the parents also want to know. But in our academy, we start from 9 years old to 21. And also my dad, when my dad saw me that I was in Winneba, which is
You mean Winneba Senior High School?
no, not senior high
Okay.
school, sports college, Winneba Sports College.
Okay.
When I was in the academy, and he said to me that, okay, Samuel, I support you, but don't forget, still, I want you to take your education serious. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what he did. He endorsed you at a certain point and said you can go. Only
Yeah.
that you have to take your education serious.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Under-20 World Cup and his first reaction when he saw you physically. I'm sure you probably maybe spoke to him on the phone or something, but when you won the Under-20 World Cup with the whole team, what was his reaction? What did he tell you? What was the first thing he told you when he saw you physically?
He told me something. May he so rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
My father is no more.
Amen.
And
We're members of the same club.
he told me something when we won the Under-20 World Cup in Egypt. I called him, both my mother and my father. And my father was, to be honest, he was crying on the phone. Crying.
I see.
Saying that you were right, Samuel. You push, and now you have done it.
He cried.
Yeah, he cried
Wow.
on the phone because he was trying to. He think that, okay, let me push him to focus on the education rather than playing football. But I also have a little bit misunderstanding with him. It doesn't mean that I don't respect my father, but I let him know that, Daddy, this is what I want. This is where I want to go. But at the end of the day, he also understand me that he said to me that, okay, you have proved me wrong and keep it up. I'll pray for you every day for you to achieve your dream.
Well, so cheers to all the young people who want to prove their parents wrong. In recent years, I do realize that there's a whole generation of parents who now see football differently. Obviously, because of the reward. The kinds of figures that they see, players earn around the world. They see the flagship brands, Cristiano Ronaldo, Erling Haaland, all of these people and what they're generating and what they're adding to, and now everybody is gradually moving away from that mentality where, hey, I don't want you to go and play no football. Go back to the classroom and, what would you have to say about that, Nana Kwame?
I mean, first and foremost, end of the day, I mean, we're about to start the after school program as well. Yeah, where basically we go to schools and select players, of boys and girls age 9. What I'll say is this, football is fun. Play football, enjoy it. Don't put no restriction on the child. Let him be free to express himself, because Ghanaians are known for being technically brilliant. That's what makes Ghana players, the best in the world. Everyone keep on saying that Ghanaians are the Brazilians of Africa. Yeah, it's a reason behind that, because we allow our players to express themselves, basically, in that sense, So what I'll say to parents is this: let a child play, let him enjoy himself, and as I said, when it comes to us, we'll direct him and show him the best way to move forward, to be the best of himself, and sign a professional contract.
Sign professional contracts indeed. And it's interesting. It's interesting that all of this has come up, because I'm referring to some of the stories of the last 2 or 3 decades in our football space, and all of these stories of footballers whose education or whose ability to read and write was not up there, because of which they walked into very bad and shady contracts and all of that. And I guess that this new generation and all these new ideas are going to change all of these, so that all these players that are being churned out are now very aware, even though they have representatives who look at the technical side of these contracts and all of that. But then players who are very much aware of the space they're in and what is required to be in that space in terms of knowing that it operates like this and like that.
Yeah, it is going to help a lot. Like I keep on saying, if you know where you are going, sometimes we cannot be perfect. It's not everybody. I will put it in, no one is perfect. We all make mistakes. But if you know where you are going, you just focus on that. It will also help some of the players that who want to also help, who want to give back to society, and as well that they will understand that, okay, let me do it. Sometimes I keep on saying they wanted to do it. Some of them want to do it, but a lot of them also feel shy to do it. And I will just encourage them that whatever they are trying to do, they have to focus and do it. If you want to help, just push them. Just this kid need us. They always watch us on TV. They want to be like us. So when you have opportunity to help somebody, just do it 100%. It will help the country as well. It's not necessarily supposed to be even a football. Certain things that if you think that you can help your brother to achieve his dream, just go ahead and do it.
Well, if you just joined us, we're still here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. Just learning a bit this afternoon and learning it from those who are in the space and are getting the job done. Samuel Inkum, we all do know, paid his dues, at within the age-specific space of our national teams, won the silverware, played at the highest level, and now is venturing into football agency. Of course, we can mention others who are also in the same space and are doing quite a good job. We do remember that Derek Boateng, for instance, is the head scout of the Right to Dream Academy, goes round the West African sub-region and brings the best of players to the academy who have done a wonderful job in terms of placing people with football talents in different places around the world. So this is also to get us close to how the whole thing works, and we look at the vision of the likes of Samuel Inkum and others, and also to make us understand that it's not just the playing career, because there are players who start off and at a very early stage develop injuries based on which they are not able to play their football anymore.
Yeah, you are right, my brother. You are right, and that's what I'm saying. That some of them end up just like that. And it's something that we all have to motivate ourselves. Kuja Samoa is doing also something.
Yeah,
amazing.
Kuja Samoa running the Juventus Academy in Ghana.
Yeah, it's
Super.
something that we have to. We have to help them, because I keep on saying Ghana have made me who I am today. I mean Ghanaians, So after me, I've not retired though. I think that this is what I can also do.
You mean you haven't retired from
I've
playing?
not retired playing football.
Okay, so you haven't. Okay, well.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'll retire. Wait, my brother.
Well, everybody will be interested in that because it's more like a default thing where everybody sees you now focusing very heavily on this. Okay, so is that to suggest that we're approaching the summer transfer window. Football is coming to a halt in a couple of months. I mean, in the coming weeks, the final of the UEFA Champions League will be played, and then we enter that period. So what? An agent calls you up and says, "Charlie, there's some, up in maybe like a Saudi or something. You'd go." You play?
Of course, yes. Of course,
okay.
Yes.
And you'd balance that with this work? How would that work?
Yeah, that is why the work that we are doing, I have my management team as well, the vice president, head of scout, everything in good place.
I see.
Even if I'm not there, the agency will still run. You understand? But I would prefer that, maybe next transfer window, I'll play maybe 2 games. I want to play like, let's say, Kotoko, just retire from football, Not I want to play like, like playing, just maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then after I'll retire.
Okay, so that's the plan then. You are also, as part of it, you are projecting playing in the Ghana Premier League again.
Again, yeah.
Okay, for a club like Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Yeah.
Now, how simple is it? I mean, we've seen Asamoah Gyan, Ghana's highest scoring player, former captain of the Black Stars, do that. He did an official announcement of his retirement on the stage of the African Prosperity Dialogue series at the Accra International Conference Center. So it just strikes me that you haven't exactly done any official announcement, to announce, the hanging of your boots.
Yeah.
So, but how does your body feel? I know that you are very big on. You're a man who's very big on fitness, and we see the evidence of it. I mean, the look and everything. You are very, very big on keeping fit and keeping yourself going. But what is your body also telling you? Because all of this works with the mind and the body at the same time. What is your body telling you? I mean, that you still have the strength to run for another 2 seasons?
If I want to, like you said something, it's all about the mind.
Okay.
And because I cherish the work that I'm doing, being a footballer, it has paid a lot of way for me. I don't want to wait for somebody to tell me to go and train. I always train. I always know what I have to do as a football player. I still have energy, to be honest. But me coming back again, like for instance, I said I want to play Asante Kotoko before I retire, because I told them that when I was leaving, I told them that I will come back and retire in Asante Kotoko. So that is something that I want to do now. So I think the body is okay, the energy is there, the strength is there. I just need to put a little bit intensive training. Then I'll come back and go to Asante Kotoko, just sign for them and just finish the career. But I think that I will announce it in a way that everybody will get to know that Inkum have retired from football.
So for now, Inkum has not retired?
No, for now I'm looking for contract. Wow,
I see. to gather some, last, for the bank account to roll over so that you can enjoy your. I like that. I like the sound of that. But how simple is it as well for the old club? So I was making the reference of Asamoah Gyan, Sule Ali Muntari, who played at at Accra Hearts of Oak. You also played at Accra Hearts of Oak. Lai Kingston played at Accra Hearts of Oak. So how simple is it for these clubs to have conversations with you? Because, I mean, you have seen reward structures that are through the roof if you're comparing our economy and our football economy to it. How simple are the negotiations when you have to come and do a thing like that?
I think some of the players coming back again, they just come because of how they love, Ghana League. Because I keep on saying the same league gave them the platform, So for them to come back, I don't think that is something that, first of all, the player have to be shy, or the player have to think that, oh, why am I coming back to play for Ghana? And don't forget, it's the same league gave you the platform. So when I saw Asamoah Gyan playing in Ghana League, I was so happy. I was so excited. I know that it's not coming because of money, you understand, but he's coming also to play a big impact, to also change this youth mindset as well. Sule Mutari, the same thing. It's not necessary about money. When we talk about money, it will be difficult for the clubs in Ghana to pay them. You understand? But they came with passion. They came to bring something new in our game. That is why I'm also want to use this advantage, use this huge platform that I'm sitting on now to also tell our fans, if some of the legends want to come back to play, they have to cherish them. They have to let them feel like, okay, this is the legend that when we were sitting on TV or something that we are watching them. You understand?
Do you not? Why you didn't get that feeling when you came back to play for Accra Hearts of Oak? Is that the suggestion?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. I'm just saying that we need more of them to come in the game. Some also feeling like, okay, when I come, maybe they will use, why you are still playing Ghana? Why you didn't go to Europe? This kind of comment. I'm not the kind of player that when you say certain comment, he push me. Never. I love when you even say, let me put it, my Bobo, my Sam not playing. I love it because at the end of the day, if you say something like that to me, I also sit down and think about it. Okay, maybe he's saying something right. There's certain things that I have to do and do it right, But to give them confidence for them to come, we need this. We want people to come to stadium to watch. We need numbers to be in the stadium to cherish the team in terms of also what you call it, sponsorship wise, business wise. So this is the kind of thing that when they are coming, let's motivate them, let's cherish them, let them feel that they are coming to play. The same league gave them the platform to be Sule Mutari or Michael Eason, Stephen Appiah. You understand? We need this. So I will use this platform to say to the fans that if we have the chance to bring set players in the league, when they want to come back again, we have to let them feel that they are coming home.
Well, that's the man, Samuel Inkum, here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, West Ham United drew 2-2 with Liverpool, and that sure is, toughening the situation for Liverpool a great deal, especially as they look forward to giving Jurgen Klopp a very good send-off present with the English Premier League title, which he has already won with the club. So, Kudus Mohammed's West Ham United 2, Liverpool 2, and that's the full-time result from the English Premier League. Let's now cross over to the Garden City, where Fifi Manfred of our sister station Love FM is joining us with some analysis. Now, do remember that tomorrow is a very important date for Ghana when it comes to the CAF Confederation Cup, and this is the reason why. Now, in the years of existence of Dreams FC, this is the highest heights they've risen to in terms of competition on the African continent. They may not be your top 5 on the Ghana Premier League as we speak, but Coach Abdul Karim Zito, together with the club and the players, have found their rhythm and have been able to make it all the way to the semi-final stage of the CAF Confederation Cup. Do remember as well that back in 2005, Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko played in the final, the maiden final of this competition. Accra Hearts of Oak won that maiden trophy. Now, in the year 2024, the onus is lying on the shoulders of the lads at Dreams FC to make sure that the dream is made manifest. Now, they have a tough assignment in the sense that they've gone out there to Zamalek and played out a draw with the Egyptian Giants. Now, this game that we play tomorrow at the Babara Stadium will require that Dreams FC win this game. It's as simple as that. So Fifi Manfred has been following what's been happening with both sides who are there in Kumasi. He'll be playing this game in the next 24 hours. And he's got some thoughts as well. Fifi, good to see you here and good to have you on the show.
Nats, thank you very much. Good to see you too.
I like the color of your polo shirt because it's the green vibe, and it's a shade of green, and that's in the spirit of of pulling support for Dreams FC.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to do here.
Very well. I would like you to tell me a bit about before we go into the Dreams FC Zamalek conversation. Now, someone in Kumia has been talking about having more legends of the game come back to play in the Ghana Premier League. Now, he's indicated that he's not hung his boots yet, so we shouldn't push him into retirement yet with our words and the way we describe him and all of that. However, he would like to come and play again. He's mentioned Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Where would you like to see him play if you were to advise him?
Assalamu alaikum. Oh, I remember those days when I saw him play at the Babara Sports Stadium. I would love to see him there again. But of course, if not for Kotoko, I also know that he is somebody that went through the ranks of Prophet Josiah in Takrade when Prof was the teacher at St. John's School. So any of those teams in the central and western region as well, where I think he hails from, he can go back there because, of course, with all of his expertise and then the fact that he has had a lot of experience abroad, he will add a lot to the western regional game, which is dying, the central region game, which is dying, where he hails from. He can add a lot to it. So any of these clubs, I think that his expertise, his experience will come in very, very handy. I think that the bigger problem, Nat, is with the fact that, like your last point about remuneration, if these clubs will be able to give them, enough as compared to the amounts that they've been exposed to abroad, we don't seem to have enough in our football ecosystem in terms of money going around to see them playing in here. But of course, if he wants to play, then definitely means that he'll be cutting down on the money that he used to take abroad when he was at Dinebro and all of these countries, and I'm a little bit smaller as the players in here do take. But of course, if he plays in Kotoko, if he plays for Hearts, I don't mind. If he gets to play in the teams in Takrade, Sekendi Azakes really isn't there. The Buswan Dwarfs, the teams in the Cape Coast area too. I think that he's going to be a very good addition to any Ghana Premier League team. Maybe if Samatex do win the Ghana Premier League, he should try and join them because that's a very good team as well.
Okay, that's some free consultancy from Fifi Manfred from our studios in Love FM in Kumasi. All right, I'll be getting comments from here in the studio, but Fifi, since you are the one who's been closely following the team, bring us up to speed. Now, Zamalek have been in town. They, I guess, have done their final training session ahead of tomorrow's game. What are the officials saying about this game? It's a very crucial one for them as well.
Yeah, very, very crucial game. Now, there's something very interesting. So, 3 days ago, a first Zamalek team arrived at the Kumasi airport. Soon to be Kumasi International Airport, where we saw Zamalek teams chartered flights. Just about yesterday, 2 days ago in the evening, we saw another chartered flight arrive at the Kumasi airport. So it looks as if two different Zamalek teams have come in. And what makes it very funny is that yesterday, after their final training session at the KNUST Pajo Stadium, we saw some of their players walking around campus close to the Indies Hall, trying to fraternize themselves with the young men and women at Indies Hall who were playing football to sort of calm down their nerves. So we began to ask questions. Was the first team that came, was it the main Zamalek team? Or is it that they've had a decoy, which was the first team that came, and then the main team that's going to play is this last one that has come in just yesterday at the Kumasi Stadium, at the Kumasi Airport. So we don't really know if the last team that came in was the main Zamalek team that's going to play tomorrow, because they've had two sets of airplanes with players and officials that arrived at separate times coming to Kumasi in the space of our just 48 hours nuts.
Wow. Okay, so that just goes to tell us how thorough the operation is. Samuel, I see you smiling. Well, Dreams FC have a lot of work to do tomorrow.
I think so. I think yes. For me, I would just say something about Dream FC, the team, the Tinker team, and the playing body as well. I think they have done something amazing. Nobody thought of it, And now we have to support them. I think they need attention now. Ghanaians, we have to go in our numbers to support the team.
It's a free gate.
Yeah. So we have to go.
You know the fans of Kumasi. So we'll let you give a message to the fans of Kumasi. But you know them. Tell me about the fans of Kumasi and how they affect a player's psyche when you are playing, on the pitch at the Barbara Stadium. You have played there before, both with the Black Stars and with Kotoko. You tell me about it.
For me, the fans in Baba Yara, the Kumasi fans, are amazing. Matches like this, they love so much. You know why? Because they want to go and give that energy to push the players. I remember when we were playing against Egypt in the World Cup qualifiers, it was something that they came to the stadium massive. How come we won 6-1? That is the energy from the fans, and the players want to do everything. So I just want to tell them that it's not Asante Kotoko, it's not Hasselfolk, it's Dream FC. But it's not Dream FC, it's for Ghana. So let's imagine that Ghana playing against Egypt once again. So I'm just saying that I'm begging them, they have to go in their numbers, give them the maximum support. I will be there myself, Let's support them because they are doing something that.
Okay, so you've done it in the first leg. Now, the second half of that message, you have to do it in the official language in Kumasi. You are a Kumasi boy as well, and you know how it goes. ketwi na
Obiara
yenuanom na
ntimi.
omo wo Kumasi no omonko na omonko yi no me de say me ketwi no na say me yemfumso bia say obi ade cheme say say me twi no enheda etochima kakra. Fifi, I can see Fifi laughing there.
Mesrem nuanom omo Kumasi say omo bomu diem omo dika ba hodada yenim de mutimi ye moya amayen dada ene yenim de mutimi aye ya yenim ye nana ote kokoso nana nane ye nyina ye besrem ochina yenko stadium ne yenko stadium ne ma Dream FC, they need us to support them. Nti yenko yenhye mu ma si da modi ya modi ma Asante Kotoko mbribi mu no si da modi ya ma Blasters no now munu anu asan aba omonim minim se bi mbaka adena anya Kotoko adena anya asofo enye ono na yehwehwe sisi ya de yehwehwe o kene se ye nyina be ka bom na aye busua baako na ye push the agenda of Ghana football mesremo o kena yembo stadium no na yema Dreams from Moonfilis or Moya Blasters.
Very well, very well. You normally hear a lot of this, during Ghana month, but this is a special operation. Now, finally from you, Fifi, we've been talking about playing North African opposition. North African opposition has certain key traits and elements where in a crucial game like this, they start very hard with a hard press. They're moving on the flanks. They're using a lot of fast space. And they're making sure that they frustrate you to get the first goal, the second or the third. And that can secure them for the rest of the game or probably get them that needed ticket. How should Dreams FC approach this game against a club that has massive history on this kind of platform and a team that is psyched for this kind of atmosphere that we're looking forward to creating for Dreams FC in the stands?
Yeah. But the first thing is that they have to get the psyche right. Like I was telling you last week, I think that this game is going to be more psychological than anything. And Dreams FC have to have their psyche right. It is more difficult because their away goal rule is in play here. And once Zamalek gets the first goal, it makes it even extra difficult for Dreams FC. So from Coach Karim Zito and his boys, it's about they knowing how to manage the game in the various moments and the various parts of the game. If Zamalek come at them, they can't afford to just sit back and soak all the pressure. But then again, there are some attacks that you can only manage. So they have to manage those attacks. They have to manage those moments of the game. Because obviously there are going to be times where Zamalek will pin them back. When they do pin them back, it is in that moment where they need to use their experience to manage the game, know when to draw fouls in your favor, know when to go down when you need to take a breather, know when to go full throttle in attack when you have to do so, because that is very important. You look at the first leg that went away, that went on in Cairo, you could tell Zamalek had loads of the ball. They put Dreams under a lot of pressure. It was incessant at a certain point in time, but they did a good job in managing the game. There are times where they will draw a foul and then take the sting out of the seal of Zamalek, and that's what they have to do. Zamalek, obviously, like I said, will come in all guns blazing, hoping to get that needed away goal. That almost ensures their qualification into the final of the competition. But they, Dreams FC, need to manage the moments of the game because it is likely maybe Zamalek can get a goal. When they do get a goal, that is where the psyche of the game comes to play. How do we get the equalizer and the second goal? That takes us through. When Dreams FC gets the goal, how do we manage that goal that we have to draw fouls and manage the game to the extent that we know that we'll go through with that? Even if that doesn't happen and it's 0-0, how do we stay in the game for as long as possible to make sure that we don't just lose the game and then throw it away? Al Ali are going to the final of the CAF Confederation and the CAF Champions League. They were here against Mediama. If anybody in Kumasi who went to watch Al Ali against Mediama will tell you that Mediama were better than Al Ali on the day. But the only reason why Al Ali beats them here and they qualified ahead of them was that Mediama could not manage the various moments of the game. They lost it psychologically. And it's the psychological part of the game that I think Dreams have to do a thorough job on. Once they do that for me, I'm very, very confident that the experience of John Inchi and the likes will come to bear and they'll go ahead against Zamalek, God willing, tomorrow at the Babaya.
Okay, so would have Samuel Inkum give us his final word before we come to you for the final set of analysis on this particular game. We're still here in the final leg of the show. It's the Joy Sports Link here on Joy 99.7 FM. And let's just open the phone line so that those of you who can be quick enough to reach us do so. 0302-216-541, 541 0302-216-541 and 055-1111-997. Let me quickly go over them again. 0302-216-541 and 055-1111-997. Fifi is talking about game management, which becomes a very crucial element for tomorrow's game if Dreams FC wants to do this and do this in grand style against Zamalek. What would you have to add to it regarding how they should manage these Egyptians who have been very strategic from the reports we are getting in terms of getting themselves here, relating to the environment and psyching themselves up?
I think Fifi make a great point here. This not Africans, they have different mentality, different mindset. How when it comes about this game, they want to do everything to win, and they can get early goal, like he said. But how to manage the game is the most important thing. You are playing home. When they score you 1-0 or 1-1 first goal, when they score first goal, you don't have to give up because you are playing home. And which the first 20 minutes, it will be a hit on Dream FC. First 20 minutes. This is how they play. Because, I think it will be Sunday as well. So they will use that energy for first 20 minutes. If they can manage them for first 20 minutes, trust me, Dream FC will qualify to the final. But if they refuse, it will be a big problem for Dream FC. And it will happen. Tomorrow, this pressure I'm talking about, it will happen. Egypt, they came here when they are playing against Blasters. First 20 minutes, hit upon hit. But, we were smart to take early goal. We score early goal, to make the game calm, for us to control the game. If they can also do entry, he has that experience. He's been in Egypt. He understands this kind of game. If he can manage to get a first goal for Dream FC, I think they will control the game.
Okay, thank you very much, Samuel Inku, and we'll come to you, Fifi. Fifi, look, it's from a Ghanaian perspective. Beg your pardon. From a Ghanaian perspective, this is something we're all looking forward to. It will be very refreshing to see Dreams FC pull this off. What are you projecting in terms of how it could possibly end up on the score sheets?
I believe, I don't know, Nat, I have a very strong feeling that tomorrow Dreams FC win and qualify by just a goal to 0.
Okay, a goal to 0. Okay,
yeah.
And that is with some very strict game management and soaking pressure, like someone Ingoma said.
Yes, and you see, they need that. Once you manage the game, the element of luck will come into your favor. And if you watch the game that went on in Cairo, there was some luck as well. Very good performance from goalkeeper, very good performance from the team, and the element of luck. So I'm expecting that they do that, get the element of luck, and then they go to. Not we will have the CAF Confederations Cup final, second leg here in Kumasi.
Now that is almost sounding very prophetic, isn't it? Now, another thing as we wrap this up, the drive to get the home fans to back, Dreams FC. It's a free gate, but obviously there's a lot of effort also needed on the side. What's been happening in the media space in Kumasi this morning, regarding that? How are people whipping up the interest for honoring this free gate invitation?
Yeah, so this morning they have been on almost every network here in Kumasi. It started with our early morning sports on Love FM at 6 a.m. They were here. They were on Ishra. They went across the various networks as well. Love FM had the health work as well. They were there reminding people that they were going to bus people to the from the various points as well. So they have key points where they want to bus people as well and take them to the stadium, God willing, tomorrow to do that as well. Apparently, they'll be going around to the various churches also very early in the morning, the officials, to also encourage people to join the Baba Sports Stadium because at 4 p.m., so right after church, people can go to the Baba Stadium and get a job done. We as media men are also trying to rally people on. So on every show we speak about it and we push people to also go to the Baba. I think that's, like Samuel Nkrumah said, it's for Ghana. And the fact that you are going to witness history at the Baba Sports Stadium, possibly, it's a chance for everybody to go there. And that, it's almost for nothing. 0 Ghana cedis, you go in there, enjoy some good football, and then be part of history, possibly. I think it's a big thing. So hopefully tomorrow, the people of Kumasi are going to be there.
Okay, so I like that expression, 0 Ghana cedis. But 0 Ghana cedis, it's not...
It's not in our case.
0 Ghana cedis is not something anybody would want to associate with, especially if it's reference to your bank account. Yeah. Anyway, wonderful having you anytime, Fifi, and all the best with it. We'll catch you tomorrow with some updates on the shows as well. And so let's see.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And of course, Samuel would like to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you to Nana Kwame as well for honoring the invitation. We're looking forward to seeing SC Nkrumah Agency do some massive things and give us the Kudus Mohammeds of the future.
Yeah, we thank you also, my brother. I think, it's one of the big platforms we have in Ghana, in Africa. And I would like to also say a big thank you to you. And I would like to also say a big thank you to our Sikh. They have been with us 24/7 trying to making sure that whatever we are doing, it will be successful. So I would like to say a big thank you to them. They should keep on supporting us. And we'll give them the talent that Ghanaians need so that it will help our national teams as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was Samuel Nkrumah, winner of the Under-20 FIFA World Cup with the Under-20 team of Ghana back in 2009. Also appeared at the FIFA World Cup, appeared in the UEFA Champions League, and appeared at the Africa Cup of Nations. Oh, what a CV. Well, I would like to, send our heartfelt condolences to the family of Mr. Joe Latte, a legend indeed, and one who has also added his bit to our nation's development from where he operated. To the family of Mr. J.A. Annan, the boxing legend as well, we say our hearts go out to him. On the brighter side of things, I'd like to say big greetings to Mrs. Elizabeth Ntiamwa, celebrating 70 years of life this week. Kwame Dadzie will come and continue with all the shouts. And of course, the final one will go to Dadzie, Reverend Markwe, who is the leader and founder of Living Streams International. We got a very interesting and wonderful concept this morning at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. A business conference which brings young people together to get inspired. Greetings to Mr. Humphrey Awolete Williams, who's the CEO of Oswald Investments Limited. Thank you all for always listening to the show. That's the most important thing as well. So keep it here. Kwame Dadzie and the rest of the crew will continue from here, but Pastor Daryl Kwao is here with the Joy Headline News at 2. And after that, the man Kwame Dadzie will bring you Showbiz 8.